Trent, 2 seconds. Trent drills it for the win. Gary Trent Jr.
Jevohn, we got our questions in from the fans. We know what they want to talk about. Let's get right into it. Number 1, Gary Trent Jr. He is making an incredible impression these first couple of weeks as a Raptor. Obviously, fans were sad to see Norman Powell go the other way, but they might be forgetting about him just a little bit now.
Vivek, I'll say this. I like what I've seen from Gary Trent Jr. He's come in, he's played aggressive, he's played tough, and I think he's a guy that's had to play with Dame. He's had to play with CJ, so he's played with superstars. Now he has an opportunity to flourish. He's going to take advantage of that. We've seen him hit a game-winning shot. We've seen him have a 30-point game. We've seen him get chippy against the Lakers, getting a little scuffle there. So you know he's a guy that has a little grit to him. I like it. I like the move. If I'm looking at where he is in his career 3 years in, and I'm comparing it to Norm, I'm comparing it to Kyle, OG, and Pascal, he's far ahead of where those guys were. Are you getting the player that Norm Powell was? No. And that's not to take away from any one of those guys, but this is a guy that shot 40% from 3 for his career coming into the NBA. That's tough. There's things that he needs to work on, but I think you couple that with the Raptors organization that has, a history of developing players. The sky's the limit for this guy. And I think in years to come, we're going to have a stud. We're going to look back on this trade and say, wow, you know what? That was a good move. The other side, I like it. He has a little swag to him. I've seen him in press conferences, nice little shades, nice little outfits. The young kids these days would call it drip.
The swag's on 1,000 for sure. I mean, this is a trade to me that just helps both sides. You look at Norman Powell, the way he's fitting in Portland. His legacy in Toronto was set. He'll always be remembered as a part of that championship team. And now with Gary Trent Jr. at 22 years old, you're thinking about the future, and he fits into what the Raptors are trying to do. Are they a playoff team? Are they a play-in team?
First of all, they have to get healthy. I think we haven't seen this team at full capacity for majority of this season. If they're able to get things in order, we can't lose sight of the fact that this is a team early February ran off 4 games in a row. They beat the Milwaukee's, they beat the Phillies, they beat Brooklyn. So we've seen their potential. They just have to pull it together. They're a team that wins by committee. They haven't been able to do that. And they don't have the depth, they don't have the talent to just cruise into a playoff spot. And if they get into that 10th, that 9th seed, and they have their team at full capacity, we know the potential of this team. So I'm still confident. I'm still optimistic with where things are going with them.
For me, my expectation is that they are going to be unhealthy, that there is going to be something wrong, because all through the season, that's been the pattern. That's been what's consistent. So I'm not expecting that to change anytime soon. I think they're going to stay on the outside looking in. We've zoomed in on what this team is right now, but when we look back, we have to start with Kyle Lowry's legacy. That was the final question that we have for this segment. Does he get his jersey retired? Does he get a statue outside Scotiabank Arena? Does he get the Ring of Honor?
Whoa. Statue, stop. Whoa, we're gonna stop there. We'll stop with the statue. When I hear statue, I start to think of MJ's, I start to think of Magic Johnson. And we're not gonna take away what Kyle Lowry's done, but I think we need a couple more rings for that. But aside from that, I think, he has to be the first jersey retired in Scotiabank Arena for everything that he's done statistically, his commitment, bringing this organization, this country, a championship that can't be overlooked. I would love, the day when Kyle Lowry hangs up his sneakers, we'd love to see, the Toronto Raptors create a front office position for him so that he can continue to, build his legacy here and continue laying the foundation and the landscape for the culture here. So, I think there's a lot to come for him, but we'll hold off on the statue for now. We'll leave it at the those metal structures. Who knows what they are outside Scotia Arena for now.
I love the idea of giving him a front office position, trying to keep him involved any way possible. But I'm saying give him all the flowers. I'm saying give him the jersey retirement, give him the statue, give him the Ring of Honor. That's gonna wrap it up for this episode. Thanks for sending in your questions, and make sure you get your next questions into us in a couple of weeks when we record again.